Good afternoon, all members of South India Chamber of Commerce. I apologize for not being there with you this afternoon. My very good friend and industrialist and man about town, Ganpati, had invited me several months ago, but today I am unable to make it because it clashes with something which happened to be happening much later, and it is at the end of the day today. Nevertheless, I must compliment SICCI for being over 100 years serving the business community of South, and of course Ganpati has had a glorious career and continues to move from strength to strength in the world of business. Titan itself and the Tata group has had a very important journey in the country as well as in the South. Titan particularly in Tamil Nadu, because way back in 1984 when the company was formed, the company was created as a joint sector company with Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation as the 26% shareholder and Tata Group as the 25% shareholder, and we continue to be a joint venture between Tata and TIDCO. A little bit of Tata. So today I just want to share with you the subject of business, but beyond business, pioneering business, and therefore pioneering business practices which today entrepreneurs need to be aware of. You all know the group is, Tata Group is now a little over 150 years old, and some of the business principles which were beyond profit that have been established in the world have actually come from the Tata Group. One of them, which is of serving society, is embedded in the structure of the group itself, and most of you are aware that the Tata Sons, the holding company in a way which has significant shareholding in most of the large Tata Group companies including Titan at 25%, is owned 67% by Tata Trust, and the primary purpose of the Tata Trust is to serve society. So Jamsetji and his family later decided that if you have to give back to society several times more than what you earn in society, this is the structure to follow. So by structure we have ensured in the group that we serve society. Not just that, the ATA Workday, Provident Fund, these were all firsts which were introduced in Tata Steel, and they continue to be the benchmark for labour practices across the country and perhaps in the world. In Titan itself, just to give you our early days with the watches, when we entered, we were called Titan Watches Limited, and even as the whole world knows the story about Titan's exceptional entry into watches using new technology, quartz, and exceptional design and superior marketing, retailing, etc. Perhaps the untold story is about the extraordinary investment we made in manufacturing in Hosur in Tamil Nadu, and built a very sophisticated world class watchmaking facility in Hosur. Now, you might think that sophistication in watch manufacturing comes out of machines. It does, of course, but the philosophy at Titan was, since at that time we were allowed to open this, start this venture in a so called backward area, we actually reap the backward area benefits in whatever form, sales tax, loans, etc. So the group's principle then began to apply. If we have benefited, in any case we have benefited, as we have to behave like a responsible citizen of that area, and therefore the recruitment in the early days of all our employees who were making watches, assembling watches, was from the local villages. We went from school to school, tested people and wooed them to join us, and those same people today are contributing every day to make world class watches, and that principle has gone beyond watches, it has gone into jewelry, and it has gone into plants we have opened later outside Tamil Nadu as well, in Uttarakhand, in Sikkim. We still go and recruit young people so that we can benefit those where we are geographically located. Today in Tamil Nadu itself, we have plants in Hosur for watches, jewelry, our precision engineering business, and a plant in Coimbatore for making world class cases. It is usually employment is not stylish today to talk about employment, it's more stylish to talk about market capitalization, but Titan has always believed in a multi-stakeholder approach to business, and between manufacturing, where we have an employment level between direct and indirect employees of over 10,000 people, an equal number are employed in our exclusive stores of World of Titan, Titan I Plus, Tanishq, Fast Track, Helios. Therefore, a company which is both in manufacturing and marketing can create so much value for people. I come to the subject of entrepreneurship, and it truly was in the true sense of pioneering that the watch business was started, and you are all aware that thereafter Titan continued to explore newer and newer categories which were unorganized, either underpenetrated, underserviced or unorganized. From watches at in 87, where a lot of smuggling was prevalent in this country, and in Chennai, for example, you would have to go to Burma Bazaar to get foreign watch, and you were not sure about the quality of the watch, about the authenticity of the watch, whether it could be serviced, but still you wanted a foreign watch and you went to Burma Bazaar. Today, with Titan's entry, we had to fight all those competitive pressures, but today Titan, at least for the middle class Indian, is the go-to watch. In jewelry, the same principles applied, bringing transparency and organizing our business so that we gave pure gold to the customer, and we walk the talk in diamond jewelry. Today, after 25 years, we believe the industry is transforming. I am not saying it is thanks to the work done by a brand called Tanishq, but it is because country has also begun to change, the formalizing of the economy, and the curbing of black money and so on has helped transform the industry, but Titan has played a small part. Therefore, and it has now gone on to eyewear and fragrances, and our latest venture is to enter the silk, hand woven silk sari business. We believe it is a good business, but at the same time we will play by the rules of the TATA group of TATA as well as Titan. Therefore, we believe there is a brand of entrepreneurship which is not merely what we see today, which is the startup kind of entrepreneurship, which I have great regard for the youngsters who have fabulous ideas and are getting funding from a lot of people who are interested in encouraging entrepreneurship in this country. The only difference between the Titan way of encouraging entrepreneurship and perhaps those who are in the other world of startups is, for us, creating value for the customer, for those engaged within that ecosystem, which is employees, vendor partners, franchisee partners, versus valuation. I think it is a fundamental, principally different approach. For us, creating value for shareholders through creating value for people in the system, for consumers, for other members of that ecosystem, and as a result shareholder value gets created rather than pursuing so-called valuation. Therefore, when this, as we've journeyed through for 20 years through our watch, jewelry and eyewear businesses, we realized that the startup attractiveness of the startup world was luring a lot of our young people. So within Titan, we launched a program which was about intrapreneurship, and the difference, of course, between corporates and entrepreneurs is intrapreneurs. The point is, can we encourage entrepreneurial behavior inside a large corporation? Because the large corporation has the power of course, its assets, which could be distribution network, which is relationships with vendor partners, with franchisees and distributors, and the network that connects with the customers. The entrepreneur is powered by his ideas and his passion. We tried to marry these two inside the company. The program was called Igniter, basically igniting people's imaginations. And we launched this program across the company, inviting cross-functional teams to come up with ideas that would fuel the future growth of Titan. And it was amazing to see the responses. Of course, when these ideas are free-floating ideas, you have to box them in what we call as our Titan hexagon. What all will we do and what will we not do? And we got 700 plus 743 applications, so to say. And through a process of filtering and so on, it came down to 14, and 14 was subject to some of the most rigorous pushbacks from the world of CEOs from other companies, private equity, and it then finally boiled down to 3 projects. Therefore, Igniter, the entrepreneurship program within Titan, what was the recipe? It was 1/3 entrepreneurship, 1/3 culture, and 1/3 innovation. And its driving principles, it was driven by purpose and passion, of course, which is quite strong in Titan. There are no set roles. Everybody has a chance to be an entrepreneur. So people from far corners of the company came together as groups to apply. Think radical, not incremental, is what we told everyone. Heterogeneity, build cross-functional teams, dream big, start small, and of course a culture of experimentation. So the Igniter program not only gave us ideas for business in the future, but it did many other things. We ended up building a pipeline of new businesses. It increased employee engagement. Everybody who was watching this whole Igniter program said, exciting company, even if I have an idea and it could become a business one day, or even if my idea was not accepted, in the process of getting my ideas through the system, I gained a lot of knowledge. Company was even willing to, company even trained me in a way, those people who were from non-finance or non-MBA backgrounds were trained in building cash flows, business cash flow projections, or those who were not from marketing were taught how to do customer surveys. So, it built a lot of employee engagement and eventually cultural change within the company, because the young also contributed to that cultural change. So, it was a great experience, and it has given us the top of the pops in this has been the SARI project called Tanera, and it has already been launched. So, the entire company is watching. Yes, Igniter was a serious effort by the company. It has ended up with this new business, and there are 2 other businesses in the pipeline. So, I think in a way, the changing India, the expectations of young people of not just working for a corporation for the salary, the monthly salary, but to create wealth is one part. Can you create a entrepreneurship within a company through entrepreneurship is what we have learnt. And the great news is that there are still many opportunities in India for every company to explore and build such organizations independently or organizations within organizations. I wish all of you a wonderful day ahead and all the best for all the businesses that you are engaged in. And thank you, SICCI, once again for inviting me. Happy festival season that is coming up. Thank you.